Good afternoon, everybody. This is Teacher Ezra Muro. I teach English and literature. Welcome to this YouTube channel, English Made Easy by Teacher Ezra. Here, we explore a wide range of topics in English, in oral literature, in literary texts, grammar, oral skills, and so on. Remember to like and subscribe this channel. Today, I want to talk about an amazing topic from A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen. I want to talk about the wonderful thing. What is the wonderful thing? If we want to know about the wonderful thing, then we must first unearth the word from where it was first used. And the wonderful thing we meet when Nora speaks to Mrs. Christine Lind. She tells Mrs. Christine Lind that the wonderful thing is going to happen. What does Nora mean by this thing, the wonderful thing? In the text, Nora is guilty of having committed a forgery. When the husband was sick, the doctors advised her to take him to Italy for treatment. She needed 250 pounds. But as a woman in the Victorian society that is presented in the text A Doll's House, she could not manage to procure this money all by herself. So then Nora does something which seems infamous. She borrows the 250 pounds from Krogstad, but then she has an uphill task. The uphill task or the challenge here is that she is a woman and she is not allowed to borrow money without the consent of the husband. So then she decides to forge her father's signature. The father died on the 29th of November, yet in the bond that she has been given to sign by Krogstad, she dates her father's signature on the 2nd of October. Added to that, the signing on the bond is not her father's signature, as it ought to have been, but it is her own handwriting that then passes out as forgery. So having committed this forgery, Nora knows that Torvald, with his manly independence, would not have her to thank for having saved his life. So then, she decides to conceal this fact away from Torvald. So then, what happens is that Nora, having been given some glimpses, some hope that Torvald loves her, she feels that when the secret will finally be out, that Torvald will stand up as a man, will take up the guilt and will say that he's the guilty one and not Nora. Where does Nora get this fact? In page 102, Torvald says that, do you know, Nora, I have often wished that you are confronted by some danger so that I can come up and show my affection. Earlier on, Nora also tells Dr. Rank that Torvald is so much devoted to her, as if that is not enough. When Nora goes to plead with Torvald to keep Krogstad at the bank, Torvald says that Nora needs not to worry. Why? Because in case of anything, he will gather courage or bravery if it be needed, and he will take up everything upon himself. When Nora also talks to Christine Lind, Nora also says that she wishes that the secret will only be known when she has become less attractive to Torvald, to mean that at this point she feels that she is so much loved by Torvald, such that Torvald will not betray her in any way. So then, when the contents of the letter, that is the letter sent by Krogstad, are finally out, and Krogstad has written a letter to Torvald detailing all the fraud committed by Nora, Torvald turns into a different thing altogether. Torvald begins calling Nora names: a miserable creature with silly excuses, a hypocrite, a liar, and what's more, a criminal. So when Nora finally sees Torvald as who he is, one who was only amused by her, one who only enjoyed calling her pet names, Skylark, Lark, my little doll. When he finally unmasks himself, then Nora feels that the wonderful thing has not happened. And when she finally decides to divorce Torvald, she lets us know what she means by the wonderful thing. She says that her reason for divorcing Torvald is that the wonderful thing did not happen. Then Torvald wants to know what the wonderful thing is. And Nora says that the wonderful thing is that I thought that when you finally receive the details of the fraud that I committed, that you will take everything upon yourself and declare yourself as guilty. But at your moment of fright, when Krogstad's letter arrived, the only thing you cared about was your reputation. You did not care about me. Torvald did not even care that even the money borrowed was to help him being taken to Italy for treatment. He did not even care that he had Nora to thank for being alive at that moment. But he resorted to calling Nora names. And that is the wonderful thing. The wonderful thing from the horse's own mouth, from Nora's own mouth, is that she really hoped and she believed that when Torvald received the news of her fraud, he would take up everything upon himself, declare himself guilty, raise up his hands for the whole world, and say that my wife is not guilty, I am the guilty one. The wonderful thing did not happen. And Nora says that for them to get back together, then the most wonderful thing of them all must happen. And the most wonderful thing of them all is that all of them will have to rediscover themselves. She will have to rediscover herself and find herself before coming back to her family. Thank you, and may God bless all of you. Sante sana.